Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the PTSD Buddies podcast. I'm your host again, Jamie McWhorter, and on this episode, I talked to Nataly from Colombia. Well, actually, Nataly was born in Colombia, and then when she became a teenager, she moved to Ontario, Canada. Um, but Nataly tells a story about how she was abused while living in Colombia, how she got out of Colombia and made it to Ontario, and only to be abused by more family members in Ontario. But it's not all sad. She tells how she moved from that life to becoming a wonderful mother to two amazing children. So stay tuned. Nataly's story coming right up. Good day, PTSD buddies. It's your buddy Jamie, your host, and I'm back with another episode. And I got another friend of mine here, my PTSD buddy, Nataly from Ontario, Canada. Nataly, how you doing?
Hi, Jamie. I'm good. How
Nataly,
are you?
I'm doing good, Nataly. I'm doing good. I want to say first, thank you for taking the time to talk to me tonight on our podcast. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no, my pleasure.
I think I want to say thank you because a lot of people don't realize how difficult it is to talk about your PTSD to anybody, right? Especially to do it like we're doing it right now on a podcast.
Yeah, sometimes it can be hard, but
Yeah,
no.
and
Mhm.
that just shows, Nataly, how strong you are.
Thank you.
Nataly, have you been dealing with PTSD for a long time?
I believe so, honestly. I think even before I was diagnosed.
Oh, forget your diagnosis. I'm not worried about when you're diagnosed because Lord knows there are a lot of people out there with PTSD who have no diagnosis and they've been dealing with it for a long time before they even get one. So you yourself probably know when you felt the change. When has it been a long time?
Yeah, I believe so, honestly.
Yeah. How did it enter your life?
Since I was a child, and I believe it's just been going on and on, you
So,
know.
wow. So you went through childhood trauma. To me, that's the worst. I can't imagine being a child and going through trauma. So you've been dealing with it, I guess, your whole life.
Yes, you can say that.
Wow. Do you remember a time when you weren't dealing with PTSD?
No, you just grow up thinking that is normal.
Yeah, you just thought it was normal, hey?
Yeah, till you just realize that you just, in a way, sometimes don't fit in.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
Nataly, when did you realize that you were dealing with PTSD? When did you realize there was something different?
Well, you just go on in life just thinking that it's just life because life is hard for everybody, right?
Yes.
But with PTSD, it's like, I don't know, it's something deeper.
Yeah.
But then in 2019, I, you can say I hit rock bottom because I knew something really bad happened to my brother.
Right.
And it hurt me even more than what happened to me.
Really?
Yeah,
So you got more trauma in 2019 again?
yeah.
Wow. I guess some people will call that complex post-traumatic stress disorder or CPTSD.
Yeah, that's how they call
Yeah, I got to say that slow because being a Newfoundlander, I could get my words tied up there or my letters.
it.
Um, what kind of symptoms were you showing? Like, my God, I can't imagine what it was like for you as a child. When you look back at it now, look back at your childhood, were there symptoms, were there signs that you were dealing with PTSD?
Well, I think the first time that I tried to kill myself, I was just 7 years old. So that was a
Ho,
big one, huh?
ho, uh, holy shit! You were.
Yeah.
I got. I, I try not to get emotional because I think a lot about my kids when I hear stories like that. You're 7 years old and you don't want to live anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I
And you know what? I felt so bad that I wasn't even. good at doing that. You know what I mean? Like,
So you're 7 years old, you want to die, and you feel bad because you're not good at doing it. You're not good at killing yourself.
yeah.
Oh my
Now I
God.
see it different, right? Now I see it different, obviously.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that was like for you as a child. Sitting there, you must have felt so alone, Natalie.
I was because nobody even noticed. That's
Nobody,
the harsh part too.
were there family members around at all?
Oh yeah, they were in the house, but nobody noticed. I just woke up next day like, oh, I'm awake. So yeah,
Okay, so this wasn't just a thought. You actually tried to kill yourself at 7 years old.
yeah, I did. I did.
So I don't want to ask what you tried to do because I don't want to trigger you, but so you tried to you tried to kill yourself and you just woke up the next day. Nobody came to check on you.
No, nobody.
What?
Like, I don't know. I just realized how bad, like, the environment I was growing up, how bad it is if a mom doesn't even notice that the child is like laying on the floor or something. And now I am a mom, right? And
Yeah,
I have my children.
yeah.
And how can I miss that? Like, there's no way I could miss it, right? So that's when you notice when you grow up, like, okay, that wasn't right.
Of
You know, you're like,
course. Yeah.
yeah.
So your mom just didn't pay attention to you?
Oh no, she was too busy, like, with so much drama, you know, in the family and like just stuff.
Were there other children?
My brother, yeah,
How old was he at the time?
8. He's 1 year older than me.
Oh wow! Oh my goodness! No,
Yeah,
was there anyone else living in the house with you, with your brother and your mother?
my father, but he was an alcoholic, so he wasn't, himself.
Yeah. How long did you live in that situation, Natalie?
Well, I think 14 years because I came to Canada after that.
Oh, okay. So where was this to when this happened?
In Colombia, where
Colombia.
when I
Okay.
was born. Yeah.
All right. So you came to Canada when you were 14. So 14 years of living in a household where you felt invisible, I guess.
Yeah, and many things happen in the house. That's another thing that I now realize that I'm not putting my daughters through those things. So I'm like,
Did,
you have to like take yourself apart and see it like a movie and then know that things just weren't right.
well, Natalie, you were a child. And it started at a very young age. So it was, I guess it was normal to you.
Yeah, I was literally born in the toilet. I'm not joking. Like
Wow.
literally the day I was born in the toilet.
And in the 14 years in the Columbia, were you going to school? Were you around friends at all?
At that age, I was going to university actually to do early childhood education.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing that.
At 14.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy moly, Natalie, you're incredible.
Oh, thank you.
To be dealing with trauma at home and then going to do such a amazing thing in school at age of 14.
Yes.
Uh, is that normal in Colombia for a 14-year-old to be doing a course like that, or were you especially motivated in your house?
Well, if they see that you know more than the other like children around you,
Yep.
they will always put you in a higher grade and you can graduate faster and everything. Here in Canada is because of the age that you have, right?
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, not over there. Yeah,
So you were doing this. Did your parents notice that? Did
of
they?
course. And I was working too. Like my mom used to like make me work and like I had to pay rent to her too.
Oh my God.
So so it's a thing that you gonna have to. Like there's no options in a way in Colombia.
Wow. I have children who get mad at me and make faces at me when I ask to turn off the Xbox. And
Yeah, my daughters too.
Do you, you know, it must get, you must think back to those times, I guess, when you're, when you talk to your daughter about turning off her screen, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to admit, when my son gets upset, when I ask him to turn off a certain screen, I think about things that I've seen overseas in Afghanistan. Yeah. But
Mhm.
back to back to you in Colombia. So you were in school. Was the trauma still going on all the way? Sorry if I already asked this, but the trauma was still going on while you're going in school, though, at the age of 14.
Yes. I
Wow.
wasn't like I started even drinking alcohol when I was, I don't know, 11, 12. So I was an alcoholic even at 14 already. I was an alcoholic already.
You didn't have you had a short childhood, didn't you, Natalie?
Yeah.
Yeah. You what about your brother? What was going on with him while this was going on?
My brother, like right now, even in the present, he's not doing well.
No?
No, and he lives in Colombia, so at least here in Canada, you get support and the mental health. At least they speak about mental health here.
Yeah.
In Colombia, they don't even mention it. Like, doesn't even exist. So
So
yeah.
how did you how did how did coming to Canada happen?
Well, my grandma had cancer around that time,
Okay.
and they asked me to come with her and take care of her because my aunt and my cousins live here in Canada. So I had
Okay.
to take care of her like through her whole time until she passed away.
Wow, that must have been hard.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
My God, Natalie, you've done so many hard things.
Yeah.
You are an amazing, strong woman. So, after your grandmother passed, you stayed in Canada, of course.
Yes, and then I completely separated from my family because they did horrible things to me too when I arrived to Canada. And when you grow up in Colombia, there's so much corruption over there that people don't go like to look for the police or they don't, they don't believe in that.
No.
So of course I went through my abuse here from my family members, and I didn't even know that I could go and report them or anything. So I just went on for years to here, getting so much abuse from them, not having family and just being alone.
So,
I only,
you,
yeah, it's like I
my
was
God, like
blindfolded the whole time. Yeah.
you went through abuse from your family in Colombia. You take your grandmother who's dying and you bring her to Canada for special treatment, and you nurse your grandmother until she passes. Um, and then and during this, your family in Canada has taken over the abuse for your family in Colombia.
Yeah. Like since the day that my grandma passed away, we don't speak anymore.
Wow.
Like my grandma passed and they passed with her too. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Well, why would you want to be around a family that's causing you pain?
Yeah. Yeah, it was really bad.
So, um, where was this in Canada? Was this in Ontario where you're to now?
Here in London, yeah, but they moved to Quebec, so
Oh, okay.
I'm glad. Yeah.
So who are you with now? You have two children. Are you married now, Natalie?
No, it's just me and my girls, that's all.
Oh, two girls. Wonderful, wonderful. And
Yeah.
do they know about what their mom has been through?
No, I haven't told them honestly. I just don't want to
Do you think that
get
they?
into detail and
Yeah.
like, no. They know though, because my daughter, like sometimes she stares at me. She's like, "Oh, mom, I just feel so sad because I know you're sad." And like she sees me. Children know.
Oh my God, yes they do. Children are smart. Children are smart. You try to
Yeah, they
hide it
know.
from them, but they know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they don't know about your trauma, but do they know you? Do they deal with PTSD? Do they understand that?
Yes, I show them like videos from YouTube, and I show them like what happens to your brain, and But I didn't tell them the details about what happened to me.
Okay.
Just
Yep.
educated them about PTSD and anxiety and all of that.
Yeah. I don't think they need to know your trauma, but it's good for your children to know, let's say, your triggers.
Yeah. I honestly don't tell them anything about my triggers because they're children.
Yeah.
And I am the one that has to learn to deal with them. That's how I see it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you keep your triggers hidden. So what have you ever been triggered in public while with your kids?
Yes,
Yeah.
I just can't deal with people like yelling at me or like being rude to me.
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah. Confrontation.
So my girls know that I'm the type of person that I can get, like, I'm not gonna swear at you, but I'm gonna get like mean. I
Yes.
can get mean.
Yeah.
So my daughters are like, Mom, calm down, like but like sometimes, and you know what? It hurts me more when I see other people getting hurt. Not even me. Like I hate seeing someone treating someone else bad. I just can't. I just can't stand that.
That's normal in someone with mental illness, though. And I can tell you why. Natalie, you have felt um, that kind of pain. So when you have felt that pain, you don't want anyone else to feel it,
No, I can't.
right?
Especially when I see them like getting all quiet and they don't speak up or something. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I can't.
Yeah. Does it
Hmm.
remind you of you at one point?
The thing is, me, I have always been fighting back. That's how I am since I'm a little girl.
Oh, I can tell you're a fighter. I think all our listeners can tell
So
you're a fighter, Natalie.
yeah, but behind that anger, there's always like a pain. There's always a pain hiding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
What do you do when you're triggered?
Well, right now, I'm learning to control them more like than before. Like right now, I can actually talk to someone and tell them to fuck off in a
Yeah.
like in a polite way.
Okay.
Like you're being unrealistic. I don't know how like now I don't get crazy like before because I know that doesn't benefit me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna end up looking crazy and everybody will judge you more and that doesn't help us because people already judge us. That's how I feel. People judges you just because you have PTSD, period.
Oh yeah. If you walk through walk past people, or my favorite is walking through the mall, walking through the food court. Feels like
Oh
everybody's
my
staring
god.
at me sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's staring and judging everything. All right.
Yes.
Truth is, though, Nelly, no one's looking because nobody cares.
No, sometimes they do, and sometimes they're mean.
Yeah.
You, yeah, sometimes people is mean.
Oh, I'm sorry that you've experienced that.
Especially because they see you alone with two children, and because you're a female. I know that's how I feel it.
Well, you could be right there. I'm not a female. I'm a big military veteran, so yeah, I'm not always looking that approachable. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that I can't understand. I can only think that to understand what that's like. Yeah. More PTSD Buddies podcasts after a word from our sponsors. We are sponsored by the Tema Foundation. The Tema Foundation is a great foundation in Canada that helps first responders, military, frontline workers, the whole community deal with mental illness. The Tema Foundation strives to make mental health healthier for our first responders and frontline worker community. They've worked to create a free, I say again, a free online educational series that can help you cope with the daily stress, anxiety, and depression your career may bring you. PPE for Your Mind is a helpful collection of videos, ebooks, audiobooks, and much more. It's meant to help first responders, frontline workers, healthcare professionals, public safety personnel, military, and the important people in our lives. To all those who work to keep us healthy and safe, the Tema Foundation hopes PPE for Your Mind will help build your resilience as you continue to fight for the benefits of us all. Find PPE for your mind free along with other educational materials at www.tema.foundation. That's www.tema.foundation. You can make sure to follow the Tema Foundation also on all the social media just to stay in the loop on all the things they got coming up, because they in the past have run galas and everything. So you really want to keep up on the Tema Foundation. They're doing a lot for Canada. And let me just add in, living in Newfoundland, I am the Newfoundland ambassador for the Tema Foundation. So check them out, the Tema Foundation. They are there to help. PTSD Buddies podcast is proud to be sponsored by Spartan Wellness. Spartan Wellness is a Canadian organization, and I'm proud to say that I'm a member of Spartan Wellness. I use medical cannabis, and one of the things that Spartan Wellness does is help people, Canadians, get medical cannabis if they need it. You don't need to be just a veteran or a member of the RCMP. They'll help anybody get medical cannabis. Now, that's not the only thing they do. As a veteran, they also will help veterans deal with Veterans Affairs. Veterans Affairs can sometimes get a little confusing with different. Now, this is not against Veterans Affairs themselves. They're a great organization, but sometimes veterans can get a little confused with filling out forms and everything, and Spartan Wellness is there to assist with that. They also assist with insurance and rehab platforms. They can help assist you with Veterans Affairs and setting up with your Blue Cross provider. Not only do they help you with your getting your medical cannabis prescription, they'll help you pick out the right licensed producer for you, because Spartan Wellness works with all the medical cannabis producers out there, and they can help you pick the right one for you. They also provide lots of medical cannabis education. So maybe you're not sure if medical cannabis is right for you, they're here to provide all the education you need and answer any questions you have. And they'll even help you get all registered with that licensed producer once you choose it. Okay? So check out Spartan Wellness at spartanwellness.ca. They are a great team. Cheers.
Horrible nightmares. But I think the times that I had the worst nightmares was when they put me to medication. Because like there was this time where I couldn't sleep at all. Like I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
So the psychiatrist medicated me. He gave me, medication, which worked. It made me super sleepy, and I went to sleep. But then the nightmares got horrible. Like I stopped taking the medication because it didn't help me with the nightmares.
So
It didn't.
you'd rather have interrupted sleep than have the nightmares, I guess, eh?
Now I sleep well though.
You do now?
Let's say one thing that triggers me a lot when I'm sleeping and I see in my dreams is my dad.
Yeah.
I see my dad in my dreams and I wake up
Yeah.
different, like because it takes me back to my childhood, right?
Sure.
But then I think it helped me to see myself because I noticed that every time I had a nightmare, I I only think about the other person, let's say my dad or someone chasing you or whatever the reason is, right?
Yeah.
But now I don't think about that person. I see myself. So if I see there's my dad and he's an alcoholic, he's punching me, whatever, I'm not gonna see that part. I'm seeing myself. Who am I? I'm a good person. I'm a gentle, child.
Yeah.
I went through this. I'm a strong person. And I just try to tell myself what I saw in me in those nightmares, not about what I saw on the outside. I just want to think about me
Yes.
as a person. And that helps me a lot.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you talk about these things with your children?
Sometimes she tells me, like my daughter, the oldest one, she's like, "So, what did you dream last night, mom?" She's always asking me.
And the reason why I keep asking is from what you've been telling me about your daughters, they sound very intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for them. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the three of you, right? Three of you.
Yes.
Yeah. The three of you sound like a good match, I must say.
Yeah, I love my family.
Have you, over the years of living with the two of them, is there any amazing stories that you can share with us?
with my girls.
Yeah.
I honestly believe, like, I know COVID is something horrible that is going on, but for some reason, this COVID just, I don't know, made a stronger bond between us three.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I see like children that are depressed and, they don't know what to do, but my daughters are just, I don't know, they're just getting so much stronger. They're just learning so much. I think like we needed time as parents to have our children with us to maybe teach them stuff that we just didn't have time to before, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I learn stuff from my kids all the time. I swear, my kids, I hate to say it, but my kids are like a service dog. My kids can spot when I'm triggered, and they know grounding techniques that I use, like breathing techniques and certain things like a good grounding technique that I use when I'm triggered is I grab a piece of ice and I put it in my hand and I just hold on to that piece of ice. And the reason why I do it is because I can't think about anything else besides that fucking piece of ice is in my hand, freezing my hand. So I kind of forget what's causing my trigger, what's causing my anxiety. It sounds funny, but it works. So
Yeah.
I've seen my kids notice that I'm triggered and just walk to the fridge and toss me a piece of ice. Put it in your hand, Dad. Put it in your hand, right?
Oh,
Right?
that's so cute.
And they
Yeah.
have done it since they were like little kids. I have one that's 20 now, and the other one is 13. So they're teenagers now. But ever since they were little kids, they recognize things in me, and I tried to hide it from them, Natalie, but I couldn't. They're smart, so
Yeah.
I figured, why hide it? Use it.
Because you're yourself around them too, right?
Yeah, and they
So,
want to help.
that's amazing. And
Well,
we're raising those children to help others in the future because they know.
yeah, yeah, and a big thing too with people who don't understand PTSD is they haven't experienced it. They're not educated, right? That's why a lot of people don't believe it. They can't see it. But PTSD, mental illness, is a real injury. It's a real thing. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Everyone out there knows.
Exactly.
Everyone out there who's listening knows love is real because they've loved something at some point in their life. You can't see it, but it's there.
Correct. Yeah.
So,
Another thing is my daughters always see me when I get lost on my thoughts. There's when I start like glazing around and like staring at something.
yeah,
And they just tell me, Mom, here now, here now, here now. They tell me that because that's like a mantra
yeah,
that helps me so much to like bring myself to the present, like here now, here now. That's what they tell me.
that's cool.
Mom, Mom, here now, here now. I'm like, poof, thank you.
But that's
Yeah,
great. See, that's you and your daughters coming up with little grounding techniques that are working for you,
yeah,
right? It's amazing.
it is.
Um, Besides PTSD, do you deal with? I know myself, I deal with anxiety and depression. Do you deal with anything else besides PTSD?
Yeah, anxiety and depression. Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
I think for me, I find depression harder to deal with than anything else.
Yeah, my daughters know I'm a crybaby. Oh my god, I cry all the time. Like, oh my god, I'm crying
Oh,
all
don't even
the time. And
start.
then,
I don't fully
but
cry, but I
then
forever got tears running down my face about something.
the anxiety is getting better though because back in the day, I honestly couldn't get out of the house. Like it was horrible. I just couldn't.
Yeah,
I couldn't get out. Now I do. Now I feel good and I can walk and I don't feel that anxiety.
that's amazing. Is there anything
Yeah.
you can credit that to? Just hard work and time?
Honest, yeah, hard work.
Yeah,
Hard work. It takes so much time.
it does.
That's the thing that we always want to do it so fast. Huh? We always think like it's gonna take. We want it now. Like we want to be good now. No, it takes a long time. Just
Well,
like any career, right? People go like 8 years to be a vet.
yeah.
So if you take so many years to go to school to learn something, of course, you're talking about yourself. Things that sometimes we just don't pay attention, how to learn to know yourself, like to truly know yourself. It takes time.
It does.
Takes time.
It does.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the struggles, you really learn the type of person you are.
Yes. And for me, let's say, because it's from my childhood, of course, you don't even know yourself, because if you grew up like that and you were born in a family that is so toxic and everything, it's that you never had the chance to even be yourself. And like, so it's like getting born again, honestly, and getting and raising yourself, like you being your own mom and your own dad again. So that's how I see it.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. You mean it's not that we live through our trauma, but we the trauma can often make us who the person we are. Uh, I even sometimes feel gratitude for my PTSD. I know that sounds weird because I don't have gratitude for the trauma I went through, but I have gratitude for the people like you, Natalie, that I've got to talk to over the years. I mean, if I didn't have PTSD, I never would have started PTSD Buddies. I never would have got to talk to you. So, in a weird way, I almost have gratitude for PTSD. Sounds weird.
That's amazing.
Uh,
Yes, I
it,
actually once it came to my head that thing, that thought,
yeah, it sounds
that
weird, but it's true.
yeah, like if we didn't have this PTSD, that means that you will be one of those people that just go on in life,
Yeah,
like just not caring about people, not caring about abuse, not caring about others. But PTSD gives you a sense of like loving so much. It's just loving with so much strength. Like you actually love and respect others so much that you just can't stand it with when things are not right.
yeah. You can
That's
you can understand the pain.
yeah, it's amazing. Like I wish honestly, and I feel like we all need those PTSD people that maybe are inside their home and they don't want to go out, or maybe they just think their life is over. We need them. I think we need them because maybe like let's say I go counseling.
Yeah,
If the person in front of me has never been through pain and has never had any need in life or doesn't know anything like truly just by the book, they know by the book.
yeah, it's true.
Imagine if that person sitting in front of you actually had PTSD in the past. I think it will complete it will completely change everything.
Yes.
If the people with PTSD actually stand up and they come out in the communities, I think we need them honestly, because they have a special gift, a gift that nobody's gonna take away from them. And I honestly wish that they learn how to go on and how to speak up and how to gain their voice back, because we need them.
Yes. Yeah. Well, who else are we going to learn about PTSD and mental illness from, if not from them?
Yes. And you
Natalie,
know what? We speak the same language. It's crazy. It's like we speak the same language.
well, get get this, Natalie. I'm a veteran. I served time overseas, and I have PTSD because of it. You have PTSD through going through child abuse. People who are listening right now will have their PTSD through other different traumas. But yet, we all have similar symptoms,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yes. Doesn't matter where the trauma comes from. Anybody can have PTSD, right? It can affect anybody. Natalie, I got a bit of a tough question for you. I know for a fact that there are listeners out there listening to your story right now. They're getting inspired by your words, by your strength, just like I am. And there's somebody out there listening that's going through abuse. I guarantee it. They're probably going through, they could be a teenager, they could even be a child. Natalie, what would you say to them? What advice can you give to them?
I want to tell them that it's not gonna be easy, but it's possible to get out of there because they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
They deserve it. And there's always gonna be, I know there's bad people, but there's good people too.
Yeah.
And always, always fight in your life for your happiness, no matter what. It's not easy, I know. Like, I know some women that just, let's say an example, can leave their partner because it takes a lot of process. Let's say you will be lonely for a time, you won't have money for a time. Like, there's the struggles that come when you leave. It's not easy, but it is possible and it's worth it.
Like, there's been so many times through this episode that you've given me goosebumps.
Oh.
Your words have a lot of power behind them, Natalie. Oh my God, I got goosebumps again. I've I really much enjoyed talking to you, Natalie. I honestly don't have any other questions for you, but I could listen to you talk and tell your story all night long. Natalie, is there anything left that you want to talk about, or anything of your story that we haven't covered?
Maybe I want to tell them, um, especially for people that maybe suffer childhood trauma, that because we didn't have a mom or a dad that was there for us to like comfort you, be that person for yourself. Take the time to, like you will do to a toddler or to another baby or something, that you will grab that kid that fall down on the floor. Do that to yourself. Take time, maybe 5 minute break in the bathroom, and hug yourself. Tell yourself cute stuff. Tell yourself, I'm here for you. I love you. You can do this. Don't forget that we all have an inner child.
Yeah,
We all have one inside.
yeah.
And that's all. And thank you so much, Jamie.
Natalie, you are amazing. I hope one day I get to shake your hand, or if the COVID keeps going, I'll bump elbows with you. You know, I seen it on Ellen. They
Yeah,
bump elbows, yeah.
yeah. Hopefully
Because
one day we all get together, all the
yeah,
buddies.
I'm proud. I'm proud to know you, Natalie. Thank you so much for sharing your story. My God, I got goosebumps again, Natalie. My goodness, your story is amazing. Just stay there. I just want to say goodbye to our viewers. But again, Natalie, thank you so much for sharing your story. You tell an incredible story.
Thank you, Jamie.
Well, that's it, PTSD buddies. Another great episode, a powerful episode, if you ask me. Natalie tells an amazing story, going from Colombia to Canada. I'm so happy she's on my ground now, on Canadian ground, and we're not letting you go unless you want to leave, Natalie. But we're glad to have you here. You're an amazing Canadian. We're proud to call you Canadian. Um, and anyone who's listening, thank you for tuning in. If you or anyone is dealing with PTSD, find PTSD Buddies on Facebook. Join one of our Facebook groups. Find support through us. We're here to help. If you don't have Facebook, find us on Instagram, Twitter, or check us out on YouTube, because we got some amazing YouTube videos out there from the members themselves. Anyway, take care and see you again on the next episode.